Hey guys, John Rankin, owner of Sales Platoon. I wanted to take a minute and whether or not you're going to do Sales Platoon or some other DoD SkillBridge, because there's thousands of them out there that are great organizations. I wanted to take a minute and show you guys how to use LinkedIn to find your next opportunity, whatever that is. On day one of Sales Platoon, we teach every candidate how to do this. It's super important that you guys learn how to network, learn how to use the tools that are at your disposal in order for you to find the next opportunity. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to take you through some of the tools, some of the power that you have at your fingertips to help you with this. So let me get my stuff set up here. All right, here's LinkedIn. Now there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. Number one is I can come over here to the jobs and let's just say you were a mechanic inside the Army. I can just type in mechanic. And then let's say that, we'll use my location. So Nashville, Tennessee, because Clarksville doesn't really pay all that great. So then I'm going to do Nashville. And then it's going to sort and it's going to start giving me the names of these companies that are actually hiring. Now, I would not recommend that you stop at applying here. What I would do if I was you is I would go to Moody Excavating. I would go to their company profile. I would look at how many employees they have and I would click that. Okay. So it looks like they don't have a ton of people that are actually on their website. So this is a bad example. So let's back out. Let's pick a different one. Yeah, let's do MGX. So again, select the company. This is probably going to be a much better gig here with, more people. Now, what I want to do here is I want to filter this. And what I want to do is I want to filter it by U.S. Army. And I'm just, for the sake of illustration here, just going to do the main four branches. You can add the Coast Guard and Space Force. It's not that they're, not the military. It's just, they have fewer numbers, so it's not as big of a pool. So then we're going to go there. And now when you do the Air Force, it's important that you pick the white and blue one, not the black and white one. Okay. So I'm going to show results. So this company, the vice president actually served. What I would do, and I would go through here, and then Joseph Fields is in there. He's a Navy. He's their HR guy. Yeah, so there's a couple of these guys that I would contact. And here's what I would do. So Brandon, Caleb, I would connect with them and I would add a note. Hey, Brandon, I see you work at MGX. I'm considering applying there. Forgot this. I would send them something along these lines. Okay. Hey, Brandon, I see that you're a veteran. Oh, misspelled it. I've got big fingers. And work at a MGX. I am transitioning out of the military soon and considering applying there. I would love to connect with you and hear about their culture and how best to find employment with this company. Okay. You could literally go through their entire list, and any company you want to work at, you can do this. I want you to think about it. Indeed, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, all these companies that promote jobs for companies all have an ATS, a candidate acquisition, okay, software. Those AI platforms are specifically developed to get rid of your resume if you're not exactly on paper who they're looking for. I can go through the back door, connect with a veteran who's most likely going to help me as a veteran to identify how to get into this company. Imagine if Brandon knows Keith really well and hand walks me into a phone call with Keith, the vice president. Do you think that I have a better chance of getting hired that way versus applying online through a candidate acquisition software, an ATS, or applicant tracking system? Which one do you think is better? There is plenty of ways inside our network to find jobs. I'm not saying don't apply online or don't apply through Indeed. I'm saying don't stop there. Do both. Okay. I can also reach out to my network specifically and say, I'm looking for this kind of role. Where could I go? Now, the next part I want to show you, and we'll just use MGX here, is you need to know about the company. So let's go companies. MGX. Equipment services. I would go to Glassdoor for this. It's free. Doesn't cost you any money. And then what I would do here is inside this company, I'm going to select it. I would start doing some research on it. Pay and benefits. Okay, it's making me do a review, right? So don't worry about that for now. I'll do it here in a minute. So I can come in here and I can see what their technicians are making. I can see about their company culture on Glassdoor. Actually, let me just do this. I'm going to add a review. Company review. And let's, one of my candidates has worked here. Okay, they're not on there. So let's just do Department of Veterans Affairs. Yeah, it's not going to let me do it. All right. Just ignore that for now. I'll have to go in and fix this so I can continue my free membership. They give you 12 months and then they ask you to do a couple of things and I'll have to review. But I can come in here and I can find all about their culture, how they treat veterans, how they treat minorities, how they treat women. I can find all that information on Glassdoor. When you go in for your interview, it's important that you understand the company that you're interviewing at and that you know about them and what they've done. Okay. So let me come back over here. The other way you could do this is I could come over to my network. And then I can come to my connections. And I'm just going to use Tom Seeker just because he's there. So he's a CIO. I can actually message him about his company. Say, hey, Tom, which I know Tom. So Tom does some stuff for Ziggy's, but that's not what he does. So I can come over here to Tom and I can go, hey, Tom, I'm working at Ziggy's. Can you tell me about it? Do they have any job roles open? Utilizing your network in LinkedIn and Glassdoor to accelerate your ability to get employment is super pivotal in your last 6 months of service. Okay. So I wanted to share this video real quick. Not going to take up a ton of your time. If this has been helpful for you, reach out to me. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. And thanks for your time.